Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now I'm getting some sound from this from the headset. Yeah. It works now, but it's not using the mic that I have on my desk. It's using my headset here, which kind of works. I mean, that's a solution, but I would rather not wear a headset if I can avoid it. So let me see if I can find a way to make the other input work. You'll probably not hear from me for a couple of minutes again. Let me fix that. Hey. Oh, wait, you do get sound? What about now? Oh, you still get sound. So I don't know what happened, but apparently enabling another sound input fixed the other one. Oh yeah, of course, because I'm absolutely crazy. So I did an entire upgrade. So I upgraded the laptop a few hours from now before, and of course, so I had upgrades to the kernel, sound libraries, even firmware updates for the laptop itself. So for like it rebooted and it had this BIOS update thingy. At some point, it was even writing like recovering from BIOS failure or something. So yeah, yeah. I live on the edge. I upgrade my laptop before streams. Yes, I know. Still, it's on and it's apparently working according to the soundbar from OBS. And apparently we have... is Connecticut still here? Am I late enough that it becomes your time zone? So cool! It's been a while that I wanted to go to your streams, but it's always in the wrong time zone. Well, it's not the wrong time zone, it's just a bit too early for me. Is it early? Yes, that's... or is it too late? No, it's too late for me, usually too late for me. And I suppose that mine are very early for you, so... All right, so I have no idea what we're going to do today. You have to get up early. I hope that's not the only reason. I'm not the only reason why you got up so early. Oh, that's too kind. You're trying to make me blush on screen. Of course, that'll just be the lighting, as everybody knows. Speaking of which, I might want to turn on some... Oof, that's... yeah, camera is adjusting. All right, so... All right. Okay, so there's a few things that we could do today. I have had a short look at the Easyfixes screen page. I mean, let me share that with you. I guess that's where it is now. All right. Okay. So you should be able to see the Easyfixes screen page. I mean, I haven't really looked a lot at this page recently, not for this week, but I think there are still some things available from last week. I don't really know whether I'm going to fix some issue with some Infra app today, because the things that are left, well, it's kind of late in the year, and I'm pretty sure that nobody is going to merge them anyway, merge the changes that I might do, so it's not exactly encouraging. But yeah, I might do that. I still have quite a few things to do, so it's probably going to be a short stream today. I'm adding some of the... brewing some tea. What do I have today? Nice. Thingy, which thingy? Oh, the sound. Oh, Easyfixes. Yeah. So that's a page that is statically generated from. Oh yeah, it used to we used to have that a long while ago, and we dropped it because it stopped working, and also it was really imperfect in the sense that. So basically, this page is a statically generated page that is built from queries on the different repos, be they on Pagure or on GitHub. And does it support GitLab? I don't think it does, but anyway. So it queries issues that have some tags, and it has been abandoned because basically it didn't have a database. It was using a wiki page for that. So there's a wiki page called Easyfix. And oh yeah, there is GitLab. There is and that's where project can enlist to get their issues scrapped. And so you say, okay, I have this repo here, and I want to get all the issues with the low-hanging fruit tag, and that's the point of contact basically. And it gets through all of that, builds a page, and so we dropped that because it was beginning to be really outdated. But when I started to do the streams, I basically revived this because I wanted to have some list of the easy fixes or all the issues that would be labeled easy fix somewhere in the infra. So I discovered that there was this thing, and I made a couple changes so that you could register an entire organization instead of just a repo, because I didn't want to list all the repos in the Fedora infra. And I have this Easyfix and good first issue tags, and that's basically what I look at. It's really not clean, that it should be rewritten or done differently, or have a real database, for example, or there should be a lot of changes to this page, but at the moment it's there. And it's also a good opportunity if someone wants to make something better out of that. I think it's still using like the Bootstrap CSS library version, very old, like 4 maybe, or maybe 3 even. And yeah, but it's there. And I don't even use the Bugzilla tab. I'm not even sure that you can, it's probably broken. So I've put it on live support for my own needs, but I don't think I should invest so much time on that. So Easyfix, that's not the URL, that's the old one. Because there's been a couple people trying to rebuild this thing. And when I rebuilt it, I've put it on the staging OpenShift. So that's the actual URL that I'm using. It doesn't even have a proper URL because that's always intended to be a temporary thing, but it's a temporary thing that has lasted for a few months now. So I've put it there. Yeah, this whole thing should be sorted, but basically I use it as a generated list of things that I might look at during a stream. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that should be done. Having a real database and people being able to add their own repos to that would be nice. Have it not be a statically generated page would be nice also. It's currently built every hour. So any change that you make, you have to wait 59 minutes to get it. It's not great, but if somebody wants to do something like this, it's pretty easy to do actually. That's just a crawler, but you could have a crawler, or you can have like some asynchronous service that would pull the things. But that would be a hell of a service API calls hourly. No caching. Well, I don't think there is any caching because nothing is really like. There is one request to the wiki page and it's parsing it. It's parsing the wiki page to get the list of projects that need to be queried. and then it's making calls to GitHub or Pagure. I don't think it's pretty heavy. I don't remember how long it takes to build, but it's not gigantic. So to make things simpler, of course, we have several source codes. I think there is. It's called there is a Fedora Easyfixes and a Fedora Gather Easyfix. Yeah, so there's a Fedora Gather Easyfix. I don't think that's the one that I'm using. Yeah, it hasn't been changed in like 5 years. No, wait, no, 4 years. So that's not the one. There is another one. Where is it? Yeah, I don't really remember. I could check, because I do have that somewhere. Where could that be? Did I put it in streams? No. Wait, that's too big. Yeah. No, I want to have the chat on the side. Thank you. All right. So, where did I put that thing? Is it in apps? Yeah, that's likely. So there's a Fedora Easyfix here. Maybe not. Oh, looks like I made some changes. Okay. It is Fedora Gather Easyfix. I don't know why I didn't see that. What I thought it was not this one. Maybe that's because, yeah, okay. That's because I changed things in the develop branch. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to look at that, it's here. It's basically, I think it's a cron job that gathers things. But it's there. And it builds this page. And the wiki page parsing is not pretty. Project, okay, blah, blah, blah. That's GitHub, GitLab, Pagure, Bugzilla. Okay, great. Okay. Oh, so it's not actually parsing things. Oh yeah, it is. It's using MW client to connect to MediaWiki API, and then it does some pretty parsing of the wiki page. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you shouldn't, because it is what it is. Yeah, it does some. Oh, very interesting. Very useful to have this search thing repeated, pretty similar. But anyway, so it gathers all the projects and then, I suppose, makes the calls. And it's all running in OpenShift. Basically, I needed that, so I revived or gave an electroshock to the old source code, but it's not fantastic. I totally agree with that. And but it's there if somebody wants to have fun and build something more dynamic that will be making actual live queries with some caching. It would be it will be a pretty interesting project, but I don't have the time for that. So, but it's open source. Feel free to do whatever you want, and I'm happy to replace this with a new rewritten one. If somebody comes up with something interesting. I don't know what the permissions model should be like, because it's currently only users. Should I make it the new default branch? I don't want to lure people into using that. it's really been made for my own needs, more or less, and it's. But yeah, I should. I mean, the master branch is so old that it's not even relevant in any form. There's an yeah. Yeah, I know. So I made this gather Easyfix application. It's never going to be as big and serious as GNU, but you know, it's there. Anyway. I think, however, that it's a nice it could be a nice project for someone who wants to write something. I'm surprised that there aren't any like dashboard for GitHub or such thing or other source like forges that would present me with something like this. I haven't found any. I haven't searched for a long time, but I haven't found any. GitHub has something, of course. I suppose GitLab has something, but there's nothing that would be unifying different forges, and I think that would be useful. So if someone wants to do something like that, that would be pretty cool. It would like gather all the tags, and you could say, okay, I want to have this. I want to have this view of a list of tags, and a list of projects. Give me this. Yep, that's a good idea. Making it to a GSOC or Outreachy project. Sure. Yeah, I think it would be preferable if I'm not the only one using it, but I think it would be useful for newcomers also to the project, see what they want to, like if they're developers, if they're not sysadmins or not packagers, and they want to contribute something or participate in the project, that could be a thing. I mean, that's why we add these tags after all. They're just not very discoverable because the projects are all over the place. Interesting. But don't they, like, doesn't OpenSUSE and KDE have their own, like, have everything in the same forge? I think the main interest would be if things come from different forges. Okay, they do have stuff in different forges. That's cool. I thought everything was in the same forge and it was all unified and all perfect. But of course, nothing ever is. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's that could be a good thing. I mean, oh, they have the whole thing. All right. So it would be shorter to ask what forge open source doesn't have, but yeah. I mean, we're pretty much the same. Except I don't think we have things in Git, but we're close. That's an area where we can happily compete with OpenSUSE. Being the most all over the place possible. Let's just do that. All right. So what do we have? Oh yeah. Nice. They do have a lot of it. Interesting. Gonna make that. Can I make that bigger so people can actually read it? Yeah, hopefully they can. All right. So what do we have here? So there's a lot of things that have been sitting there for a very long time because this wiki page hasn't been updated forever. But there are some things that I've added. I've added the Fedora Infra organization in GitHub, and there are some things that are still relevant, such as like the Pagure, I guess, Pagure messages. There's Infra IPA in there, even though I'm not even sure that they know they are being gathered into this page. But so let's have a look at Fedora Infra. So there's something here about expanding the API of Anitia. Anitia is the source, the application that powers releasemonitoring.org. And I did select this one for a look earlier. Yeah, big fingers. So that would be about, yeah. So there's someone who added that. They haven't proposed to make a pull request for it. So I might be able to do that. I haven't ever hacked on Anitia, so that would be a plus, because it would be a fresh start. Unless I'm missing something, unless I'm forgetting, I think Anitia is Flask based. Yes, it is Flask based. Okay, cool. Okay, nice. So there's only body interior is being rewritten, I suppose, at the moment. So that's going away. Yeah, and I think like there's also the web UIs for Mailman that are Django based, but I don't think we hack on them anymore. So there's that. Cool. Yep. Booty, that's a big refactor that is not really... Yeah, I did, but that was a long while ago. Should I add the Mailman 3 stack to that site? Well, that would be something on GitLab, so it would test the gatherer. So there's fast.json here. That's documentation. Probably not the best thing to do on a stream. Yeah, I heard that the whole thing was packaged for Apple now. That's great. I'm pretty sure there's a ton of dependencies that might be outdated now. I don't really follow that development anymore, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the dependency changed in a while or if they're still the same and what changed in between. But I'm very happy to see that packaged up in Fedora and Apple. I mean, in Apple. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's interesting. Even the web UIs, because I mean, when Barry was the lead development of Mailman, he was keeping up with Python version very aggressively. Like, I think Mailman was a Python 3 only app when the latest Python 3 was Python 3.2, or maybe maybe Python 3.4. Maybe it was Python 3.4. And it was already pretty aggressive and for the version of Fedora that we had at that point. And on each version of Python that would get released, he would rebase everything and use the new constructs. Well, of course, he's a Python developer, so he would want to use the latest, shiniest thing that he's seen in beta for a while. So yeah, that makes sense. But it was pretty hard to package. But the web UIs weren't as aggressive as before. I guess things have changed. So, okay, so Fed image, nope, that's being phased out. Fed message, it's outdated. This one is outdated as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Upstreaming the patches, yep, that might make sense. That's something that happens even when Mailman 3 was under heavier development with Barry here. He would be very occupied with different things here and there. It's a side project for him. It was he was basically the responsible for the Python stack at Canonical, so he had a lot to do. So he didn't have a lot of time for review, but I think that's one of the projects where I learned the most working on Python, because he was very thorough in his review. And since he was not, he didn't have a lot of availability for Mainman 3, that means that you would send the pull request, wait a week or two for it to be reviewed. The review would be enormous, with a lot of changes, a lot of things that were important, and a lot of things that were not really, like, were more stylistic changes to adhere with the rest of the project. And you would have a lot of things to change, and you knew that if you don't fix all that and you don't fix all of them, then you would wait 2 weeks for a review and go back to square one and have a lot of things to fix again. So it would force contributors to be very precise and very thorough in their pull request, because like you can't just wait 2 weeks for some things to build and for something to be reviewed and have, you want to get it right as soon as possible, you know, not have this waiting time loop over and over again. It's like when people were using languages that get compiled and the compilation took time. Then yeah, anyway. All right, so there's Fedora messaging. That's yeah, not really. FMN still has a few issues to fix. Hey, this one is assigned to me. I suppose that I probably made a fix. Did I make a fix for that? Or was it a questions? Yeah, okay, so that was a question. It's assigned to me, but I'm waiting for so default rules in FMN. Yeah. That's something that has been on the table for a while. I am not sure if we've got a good definitions of which default rule there should be. I think that's still where it is. Yeah, that's the one, default rule for new contributors. I think there's been a discussion about that on the mailing list. And if we end up with a good definition of what default rules there should be, then I think it could make sense, yeah. Especially now that FMN is sending the notifications with a footer that sends you back to the FMN page where you can turn it off if you want to. Yeah, we should revisit that. Definitely not an easy fix. Something that needs more. Wait, what's that? No. Yeah, that's better. That's something that should be discussed. I think. Of course, and but yeah, it would be nice. I don't think we've ever sit down long enough to discuss what should be in the default rules, or at least I haven't, or nobody reported that to me. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to add that if necessary. We could listen to, we could have the consumer listens for messages about users being created and create rules for them. Should be pretty simple. We just need to decide on which rules we want. Yeah, like if someone has absolutely no rules in FMN, then yeah, use the default ones on them. The thing that we had issues with in the old FMN was that the default changed over time, and we didn't know how to upgrade that. For example, like I don't know, like you add a new, I don't know. Not sure that's the same case, because the way it's done now, every app can, like new apps can list users affected by an action, and that's standard through all the apps. You don't need to add a new rule for a new app, for example. So maybe we don't need to update the defaults, but updating the defaults should be something that is doable without destroying the configuration of people who were enjoying the defaults. But I think that the system is better now. It should be easier to do. Yeah, so yeah, that would be cool. There is also an issue here that is about basically adding some help to the widget, because it's not clear. So it's not clear that if you don't select any application, then all applications are selected. That should be on the page somewhere. Free IPFS, nope. Terrier is being rewritten. Badger server as well. Bugzilla to Fed message, yeah. So this issue comes is that so Bugzilla works with email addresses, not usernames, and the bridge to send Bugzilla changes to Fedora messaging needs to have usernames, Fedora username from FAS. And so this change would be about having Bugzilla to Fed message query the FAS user associated with an ID, with an email address, sorry, and add that to the message. It should be simple because it's just a fast JSON call, which is a REST API, totally something that can be done. So yeah, that's one of the options. This one, Mailman 3 Fed message plugin, is blocked by the upgrade of the server to RHEL 9, which should be possible early next year now that it's all packaged up. That would be pretty cool, and we'll be able to update that again. Yes, Mailman 3 Fed message plugin is about porting to Fedora messaging. This one, Bugzilla to Fed message, is already Fedora messaging, but this one is still Fed message because it's running on the Mailman 3 server at the moment is running with Python 3.4, and most of the libraries, I mean, the Fedora messaging library starts with Python 3.6, and I'm not sure I want to make it compatible with Python 3.4 just for this reason. It would be much preferable to upgrade the server and to a more recent version of Python and then be done with it. Bugzilla to message, no, this one here is waiting for the upgrade to Apple 9 or Apple 8 if necessary, but 9 would be even better. Malbot Fedora, that's just a small thing here so there is a help message that is similar. Well, like two different comments have the same help message. That is someone that has used cut and paste a bit too much. And I have the opinion that cut and paste in coding is the root of all evil. So, yeah. Anyway. Exactly. Don't repeat yourself or you're going to have to correct yourself many times and over again, and correct other people who did the same thing and have other people correct you many times, which is even more annoying. So yeah. Pagure exporter, that's being heavily worked on at the moment. I'm not sure, like there's a lot of documentation thing. Could be done. Yeah, I haven't ever touched that, but I mean, investigate the use of PyVenv instead of virtualenv. And the answer to that is none of them. If you want to create a virtualenv, you use python-mvenv and not PyVenv, because otherwise you you're not sure of the version of Python, like you might be using a different version of Python than the one you were expecting. But anyway, yes, I don't know why they do that here in Pagure Exporter. That might be for a different reason. They might want to build a virtual for some other reason than managing the project. Anyway. Oh, cool. Pagure will be moving to Poetry for Pagure 6. Cool. That means that we'll have clear dependencies. That's nice. Dropping all the legacy support stuff. I like that. Pretty cool. Isn't AI coding suggested writing a code? Good point, Trosbo, good point. All the AI stuff is basically, it's even worse than cut and paste. Is cut and paste and make slight differences so that things aren't even exactly the same after that. And you can't even use a regex or make a set change. It's, yeah. Fedora, Fedora Maps, Fedora QA, websites, free IPA. So these things have been created over 4 years ago. I'm not sure it's even useful anymore, but it's assigned to someone. So there is Epsilon there. Definitely not going to touch that right now. Something has been created over 8 years ago, updated 6 years ago. Yeah, that's Epsilon. It's all good. And there's Pagure in there. So we see RFEs, history on folders. Tests are running in Pagure global repo and not local branch copy. Okay, that's assigned to someone. Using 2emoji for Pagure. I don't know what that is. Do you have a recommendation on which Easyfix I should use? Use 7-car short git hashes if you don't render 6-car hash. Rendering 6-car short git hashes in comments or display commit hashes with 7-car, not 6 by default in Pagure. Folder history button. Oh, this one, RFE. History and folders, as we are already in files. You know what would be nice to have in Pagure? It's like when you don't have the permission to merge, it doesn't show you an empty box, an empty drop down with nothing in there, and you don't understand what's going on. That's pretty annoying. Anyway. Is there already a ticket open for that? Well, I don't know if I can actually start. What is situations with fix you do last stream? Are tests not working? That's a good question. What did I do last time? It's maybe still in my text editor. Oh, I think was it on Pagure message? No, I don't think so. What did I do last time? I have no idea. Let me get back to my list of videos. So I'll be watching myself watch with you looking at my own string. It's gonna be fun. So what's the history of that? Do I have old stuff? I don't have old stuff in there. That's probably on YouTube then. And there's might be a list in there. So that's the playlist. Okay, so that's old. That's more recent. So last time was something, yeah, I wanted to change something on Pagure, but for some reason I couldn't. I don't remember exactly why. Oh yeah, it was about adding something in the messages. Yeah, I think I couldn't stand up a Pagure environment to fix it. With messages that show git log. Ah, okay, so that was last time. Oh, that's interesting. Pagure setup scripts, always useful. Yeah, so the changes that I did were maybe on Pagure messages, maybe? Just a minute. So there was a pull request that I did. Yes. That's not it. Nope. Or maybe that's on Pagure itself. Oh yes, the tests weren't working. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember now. So I made a change. I'm not sure I sent the pull request, or did I? Okay, good, because I think... Yeah, so I got a lot of failing tests, and so I couldn't add tests to the changes that I wanted to do. Okay, let me get back to that. So, yes. Send the text pass, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, so tests work now, you say, with Python 3.9. Good. Tox-e py39-r, because I might have broken things. And let me look at your things you just sent, Pagure setup scripts. Interesting. So it's running now. Variation of your script that doesn't install the package, instead using the git checkout. Good point. But I mean, I checked it out, and there were some failures that weren't related to my change. Like I stashed it and run the test again, and things failed again. There was like a lot of them. Yeah, see, there's a few failing tests here, and I suppose is the default branch master in Pagure? Suppose it is. Like the target branch for pull requests. Okay, so all right, good. So I checked out master, run the tests. And it's still failing. Oh no, it's going to recreate the environment. Oh, I forgot the -r. Oh, so much time wasted. So how do you run the test? Do you just run tox again? Or is it something different? There's a... Okay, tox is how you're running it in CI now. Cool. Notify Pagure, okay, on my Duffy node, SSH blah blah blah, sync from Nucky node, locate node, install Apple release. Ah, it's running on Apple, okay. Checking it out. Run CI test container. Huh. Okay, so there's a run CI test container. And that is what is run. Okay, that's what is run on CI. It's more integration test than unit test, actually. Okay. Okay. Fedora pip1. So I suppose Pagure Fedora pip or Fedora pip py3 in dev containers. Okay. So if I run this, it should build, well, podman build -rm-t. Let's see if that works. The other one fails with some error from Werkzeug. I guess that's a failure that it's a failure that's going to be fixed by moving to Poetry, because then you'd know which versions of the different libraries are compatible with each other or not. I'm pretty sure that it's using a very recent version of Werkzeug here. Yeah, Werkzeug 3, okay. Then let's try to... Let's downgrade it. No, that's not upgrade. Done English. Okay, and now still building the container. I'm not sure what that means. -rm, I thought that would remove the container after running it, but doesn't make sense with build. Is it going to run something? Okay, and now that fails with file not found error. Alembic 3, yeah, okay, I remember that. It will not preserve the containers to build. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, it's also the tests expect the Alembic executable to be Alembic-3, and that's, I suppose that's what the RPM installs, but that doesn't work in Tux. So I suppose this needs to be fixed with just Alembic. Thank you very much. Any other change? A lot of legacy needs to be dropped. Yeah, that would be a nice refreshment. Okay, so that's building. Cool. So I saw you sending a link to the issue that I mentioned before. Python 3.9 plus, poetry, yeah, that's all good. Yes, this merge Dropbox is so annoying. Oh, there's a pull request. I know that's the example pull request, okay. Oh, it's an easy fix, nice. Well, first let's get an environment on. I mean, that's this I understand. Yeah, and I mean it's yeah. Yep. I mean, UI programming is it is its own I would say job, but that's not the right like its its own line of work. It's really I mean the first time that I worked with a designer, it changed discipline. Yeah, more or less. I was like you know when you learn a trade and it's basically an entire yeah, you get that. First time I worked with a designer, it changed my perspective on programming. It's really good to have people think of these things and I can just implement them without figuring out whether this button should be on the left or on the right. And because, yeah, I was more thinking like, you know, the experience and knowledge you get by working on a trade for like 20 years. So it's all, yeah. Okay, how is my test going on? All right, this fails because there's a lot of warnings. Refs heads main not found. And I suppose that's because my Git, oh yeah, I suppose it's calling Git, and my version of Git has main as the default branch. It's probably what's failing here. Let me check that. Of course, that's test being a bit flaky, but let's say I remove that. Yep, I think that's what the industry is going to, and so let's go with it. Makes sense. It's not any worse or better than the other alternatives, such as, I mean, I like the branches that describe what the branch that have described the branch itself. You know, like say for example, stable or development or production or staging, or you know, then you know that this branch is stable or this branch is a development branch, etc. Main doesn't mean much, but I guess for a generic default, you don't want it to mean something very specific. So yeah, so that's the reason why the tests failed, and that's because it was using my git config to so how do I get the name of the default branch in Git? Could I just do git config init default branch? Okay. And do I have, yeah, I could, for example, update the test to use that. Test passing, is that, no, that wasn't the one. That's the one, okay. And then I could just ask Git what my default branch is, and let me make that at least something that I can call multiple times, because I have the feeling that I'm going to use that many times. All right, what do I have here? I don't have the process, but that's fine. Wait, I need to be compatible with Python 3.9 only, right? I don't need to be compatible with Python 3.6 or even 4. So I can use run here. Nice. Cool. So I guess Git's default is still master. Let me check that. Okay, so now I still have my thing, and now I should be using I'm betting that I'm going to need it here as well, but for now. Get default branch, thank you, and that's going to be so. I think it's master and it asks you to configure it. All right, can I run this test again now? And I want to run the entire test Pagure Flask file. See if that works. I did that already. See, it's on. Okay. Ah, all right. Sorry about that. I probably missed missed something in the call. So what's the error? No, I should have disabled coverage. Yeah. Okay. Key error. What's wrong here? Wait, what? Oh. Okay. So I have this in many places actually. All right. Do I have a testing library somewhere? Yes, please display everything. I guess init is the testing library. Okay, fine. Okay. Simple Pagure test, model test, blah, blah, blah. Create projects, create locks. Add commit git repo, fine. Definitely wait. Okay, I'll add it here. Get default branch. And I need... Oh, it has subprocess already. I can remove that from here. Except it's going to be... Okay, and I need to get that from... Oh, tests, okay. And I shouldn't prefix it. Yeah. Okay. And now what's the line where it failed? In 856. But I suppose I should just search for master. Yes, I removed the call. See, I changed the call to use the one from the test init library, and here I'm using subprocess.run, and here subprocess.pipe as well, so it should work. Okay, so I have this. Where do I have master? Oh, of course, I should replace the master. Oh, I don't think so. I think I've just I've added the subprocess.run. Was it? No, it's fine. It's not there. I did add the subprocess import, so. So here, add git me git repo branch equal master. That's good. Is this actually used somewhere? Clone and top commits. Huh. Okay. Let's see if that's sufficient. Oh yeah, this one is probably failing. Clone and top commits. I mean, if it's specifying master, it might be sufficient. Yeah, yes, you see master ref. Yeah, that's not right, but let's see if my test run with this. Yeah, that's why I think so. Where the branch is specified, it'll do the right thing. When you create a repo with this, by specifying a branch, I think it shouldn't. Yeah, it should set the branch that you asked for, so that should work. All right, things seem to be working for now. Is it my first PR to Pagure? I do not think so. But I've done minor things and it was a long time ago. I probably have a few of them already. Yeah, I have a few of them. Nothing major. Some things related to the new AAA system. Yeah, it's the first for month probably. Oh, failure. What is it? Warning summary. No such file or directory. Repos tickets test. Well, I don't know what that fails. Clone repo. Yeah, nothing springs to mind. Add issue. Okay, so it's creating an issue using the API. Fine, and then looking at the repo with open blah blah blah. Okay, let me look at what's in there. Line 1646. Well, that's a long file. Is this gonna work? We'll see. Test ticket representation in Git. So it fails. Is it failing because of my... No, it's not failing because of my edition. So at least there's that. Yep. We get an error before. Okay, cool. .git. Interesting. Failed to create current tip is not the first parent. What does this mean? Yes, exactly. Current tip is not the first. I don't even know what the first parent is. Okay. Merge commit with unknown parents. What do you know when there's an error message that you don't know nothing about? Of course, you look for it. Current tip is not the blah 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 blah. Very interesting. PyLibGit libgit 2. Okay. So what's that? If I remove the ref heads master part, it's maybe related to the master thing again. Okay, so it's a task. It's an update git task. It's doing an update git function here that creates a commit. I think that's the, you know, the API call. The API call to create an issue that fails. I think that's the one that fails, and then of course it can't find the commit because it failed. So how do I know? Like create commit? Okay, lin 283. Create commit ref heads master. Okay. I'm pretty sure that that might be the reason why it's failing. So new repo, I'm betting new repo is using the default branch. temp clone the repo. What's temp clone? Okay, it's doing a temporary clone. A clone of what? A clone of repo. Okay, what's repo? Yeah, but that's yep. But the difference is that this is the repo that Pagure is using for issues, for issues, and so I don't think it's necessary to ask to let the user set which is the default branch for the issues repo, because it's, I mean, maybe sure, and it will be maybe, but like it doesn't, like if I say, for example, I want a repo that has if I say I want a repo that has develop as the main branch, it doesn't mean that develop is a good branch name for my issues repo. And of course, we could use the same for coherence, so sure, why not? I think what we could do is decide on a branch, like hardcode it somewhere, or write it somewhere in Pagure, and use it coherently instead of using Git's default. So what is this temporary clone thing? Okay, that's what you mean. Okay, yeah, sorry. Update the Git repo, blah, 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 for blah, blah, blah. Okay, nice. So it's cloning it, making a change, and okay. Which means that this update Git thing, where was it? Where was it? This update Git thing is being called obj project. Okay, in task line 362. Let's see what this has. Tasks line 362. Update Git. Session, name, namespace, user. Oh, that sounds good. Okay. Get issue by UID, get request by UID. What's obj? Unable to find object. Okay, what's project? Project is... Huh. Wait a minute. So update Git. Right, that's where it's being done. Obj and repo. So project is a repo? I guess. How did it get created? That's the reason. That's what I want to know. Project lib query get project. Or is it? Name, user, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I suppose there's a git init somewhere that is done, or Pagure, or init pygit2.init. What the pygit2 API to initialize a repo? Recipes. Git init. Init repository. Let's see how many times it's done. Where it's done. It's done in model as well. So there's init repository here. Oh, it's called by its repo path. Return the full repository path, okay. And if it doesn't exist, then it creates it. Okay, right, so it's created bare. When I create a repo, I would like to set the default branch now. Oh, I suppose that's where it's been done. Here. Repo type equal main, and if not, it's this. bear equal true. That's the template here. Okay, how do I set the default branch? Yeah, repo spanner, I know. How do you set the default branch? Branches. Repository.branches. No. I want the repo. Can I set? Clone repository? No. Amend commit? No. Describe? Certainly not. Clone repo. Okay. Doesn't look like Pygit 2 gives you the option to, like, for example, if I'm here, if I do a git init, I think that I can set the branch name by default, right? Use the specified name for the initial branch in unit, yeah, -b. Right, so I'm not sure I can set the initial branch in the Pygit 2 library. That's a good point. If you specify a branch when creating a repo, then we do that. So I suppose it's a second call, and I'll look that up. So branch from, okay, wait, what are my update requests from Git? Sync up all the references, branches, and PR. Wait, so here, what am I when am I creating a repo? I'm creating in one re-init git, delete and recreate a git folder. Not what I want to do. What is this? Create project repo. That sounds very good, actually. That sounds very good. I'm building the repo. And I would assume that it would be somewhere here, right? Like, or, yeah. What's template path? Template path. It's a string. See libgit2's documentation. Okay. Very nice. I mean, I would be happier if there was a link to the libgit2's documentation. That would be great. Because it doesn't say anything about template path right here. Right, so tasks line 288. Default branch. All right. Okay, so the path is okay. Right, okay. That's done when creating a project, and it's only using the, it's only doing it for the main repo. It's basically a set head. Okay. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? It's going to be dirty, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, wherever I'm doing an init repository, I am going to set the head. Except here, renit git, I'm not sure that's really useful. Repo path, aram tree, create it again. It's one of those repositories, so it's a secondary repository, which means that I'm going to do it as well. I'm going to do it twice. Do I want to repeat myself? Do I really want to repeat myself? Of course I don't. Yeah, I saw that in this repository, but it doesn't... I have to do it manually, basically, but that's fine. Oh, initial head? Really? Good point. There's initial head. I suppose that's something that I can find in the reference. Where's the init? So what was the function they said? Git repository init ext. Git repository init ext. I think that's the one. Init options. Fine. What do I have here? Template path. Initial head. Yes, that's exactly the one. Yes, I'm not sure I want to make it depend on a too recent version of Pygit 2. I know that the versions of Pygit 2 have been a bit of a pain to track. I should probably have a look at the changelog if there is one. Make sure that it hasn't been added too recently, hopefully. That doesn't look like there is a... Oh yeah, changelog. My bad. So, initial head. Fix blah blah blah. Or no, that's just a fix. But that might be a change. Okay, so apparently there's something about this in a version that has been added in 2015. So I think it's safe. I think it's safe to use. Initial head. Let's try that. Okay, so drop this. And let's say I have this init repository. Okay, so I'm not changing this call because that's the main thing and it's going to be edited afterwards, but I do want to change this one. And I want to set it to something that is not my... I mean, in theory, it should be main here, because that sounds like a sane default. But I'm going to set it to master, just to make sure that it passes the tests. Also, if I change this, I want to change it here as well. I'll wait for Black to format that out for me, because I want to have the same options. It should be probably in the same, but it's fine. So there was a call in models also, and I guess the fake thing doesn't make me trust it a lot, but all right, let's try the test again. All right, it fails, but maybe for the different reason, hopefully. Error, not file, not found, blah, blah, blah. Okay, current tip is not the first parent again. Okay, so there, yeah, there's the tickets repo, tests. Okay. And it's only contained .git. So it doesn't contain anything actually. I mean, there, I suppose it doesn't look like it's an actual extraction. It looks like it's a, but that's because the clone failed, right? Current tip is, yeah, failed to create commit. That's the thing that I need to fix. Okay, so it's doing a create commit here. I'm not sure. Does this pass if I change my settings again? Not sure I tested that. Did it? I don't remember. I'll just check. Yep. Okay, so it is indeed related to my default branch name. Okay, so maybe this model init repo. There was an initial repo done here as well. So let's see, maybe that's the one that is being called. Yeah. Because that's repo spanner sudo folder. Well, I hope not. I mean, I don't even know if repo type equal main. Okay, so I do not know if I'm on the main repo type or not at that time. So I probably don't want to set this. You know what I can do? Let's see if we go through this. Hey, Infamous, I am on Nomad at the moment. I used to be a KDE user a long time ago, probably between my first use of Linux in early 2000s and me being probably hired by Red Hat 10 years ago. So I think I've used KDE for like 10 years. And yeah, that's good to know. Always have a soft spot for KDE. I'm not using a driver for the mic. It's just an USB mic that is recognized by default by Pulse Audio, I suppose, Wire Plumber and all the things. So I didn't have any issue with the mic itself. Well, with it being recognized, then I always have audio issues, but that's just because it's picking up issues from the wrong source, but doesn't have to do anything to do with the mic itself. You're welcome. So I guess we still have the same failure. So we didn't go, or did it crash? Failed to create blah, blah, blah. So I didn't go through the things that I thought I would be fixing. Nice. My other guess is that the repo is created somewhere else. Right, so I'm not going through here. Because it's called many times in the tests, so I suppose it's possible in test Pagure Flask API boards. No, but it might be here. Like it might be creating a repo by default. Oh. Ah, that's interesting. Really? It sounds like, because initial head, let's look at the docs. The name of the head to point head at not be master. If this begins with refs, it will be used verbatim, or otherwise refs heads will be prefixed. Okay, so I don't need to, it's going to be prefixed if I don't. Yeah, of course you can't read it because it's that small. That's the documentation for libgit 2. Think so? Let's see. But I don't think that's sufficient because actually I've put I've put a big raise runtime error here and it didn't blow up. So I think that this might come from somewhere else. Create projects diff, repo path, like this, for example. But that's the main one. That's not the issues or the clone and tops commit. I'll try it with prefix, but I'm not sure that's going to fix it. Yeah, I'm betting the same thing. Yep, current tip is not the first parent. Okay, so what is this task? Update git. Okay. What is this called by? What is calling update git? Whew, lots of things. So what's my log? It should say update the default. It should log something here. No, it's a debug thing, right? Info thing. Not sure we log those. Anyway. But it fails. Task utils decorated function. That's not what we want. And what's calling it? So what is my test doing actually? It's API boards. Okay. What is this doing actually? What was the name of my function? Ticket representation in Git. Okay. I'm adding an issue to a board. I'm kind of sure that the init repository here is what's failing. What else do I want to know? Repo type. Let's make this stand out. Okay, get the runtime error, that's good. And what was printed? False and tickets. Okay, so I am creating the ticket. I'm creating here the tickets repo. It's giving me a main dir, that's fine. Okay. I wonder if Git repos are only created with init repository or if they are created by just calls to Git itself. That might be possible. Actually, my screen is too small now. So boards. Add issue. That's me adding an issue, right? Add a ticket on board. That's perfect. Get repo. Check issue tracker, blah, blah, blah. Okay, check issue tracker. What's that? So there's a get repo. I think that when we are making that call, it has been already created, like the repo has been already created at that point, right? So I'm going to look for it in the set projects up and set a board, right? Set projects up. It says create projects Git. I think that might be where it's failing. Because I have a create projects here, okay. Instantiation, okay, cool. That's creating them in the database. Fine. It creates different objects in the database and then create project git. Okay, that's cool. Test and test.git. Okay. Repo path, append, exist, media. Aha, that's where it is. Okay, let me try something else then. Huh. No, that's the main ones. It's not the issues branch or also. Yeah, we'll see about that. Thanks for coming by. It was nice talking to you, and thanks for all the help on Pagure. So cool. See you. Let's see if we force the initial head to master, if that fixes it. Okay. So the fix was actually here because the tests are creating their own repos. Let's see if we can get further with the tests. Okay, by the way, I have this that has been built. So let's look at what we do with this now. I'm gonna build this make this. Okay. And then just call podman run it name Pagure for AP by 3. -e branch equal master -e repo equal, well, I don't know. Oh. I guess that's Pagure. See if this manages to run the test. That would be interesting. Okay, so it fails again, but for a different reason this time. Refs has master, blah, 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 blah. Fails again. Flask API fork. It's calling it. So it's calling merge. Ah, there again. File not found error. Generate Gitolite ACLs. Pagure, LCL Gitolite.conf. Okay, so it's not finding this thing called LCL Gitolite.conf. Right, what's LCL? Okay. Okay, I do not have a gitolite.conf here. It's just, it should be generated, I suppose. But unable to find object. Value error. Is this working on? Let's try with the environment. The containers, maybe they are more tested. Which means I wonder, containers, Fedora, pip, py3. What's the entry point? Tox py3. Okay, I must say pyver so that it's py3.9 because it's working on 3.9. Let's make sure that it. Let's finish. Let's let it finish first. Oh, wait, what? What's the problem with this? Oh yeah. URL quote, etc., etc. Okay. So that's going to fail as well. It's the building that is going to need a fix. DNF install. Oh yeah, that's already fixed here. Cool. And then I suppose need to change the tux file here and add something in requirements. That's where the flask is, right? Yes. So now I'm adding Werkzeug inferior to 3. And now let's build again. Let's rebuild. Oh, okay. That's fast. That was fast. I suppose I can just run it now. So what do you say? Oh, we got Werkzeug 3.0.1 again. Why? Because maybe you need to build that again so it gets the new using cache. Okay, it's using the cache for workdir/Pagure. Let me try to run that again. Right. That's still the old one. It hasn't picked up my change. Thank you containers. You're supposed to be doing that yourself. Right. Is it mounting something? No. Workdir/Pagure blah blah blah. Okay. So when I'm running it, am I mounting something? Pagure results? No. Oh, it's doing a git clone. Well, then yeah. Yes, okay. Uh, how do you copy a directory into the container already? I don't remember that. Context, I think it's called context. Don't remember that build. Ah, that's copy, okay. 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 Copy requires 2 arguments. Really, does it? Okay, let's try again. Now I have Hexagon. Okay, let's try again now. Run. Yes, do it. Quite a few people still in the chat. I'm gonna stop shortly. I just want to make sure that, let's see if I can run the tests for the container in the container, and if that works, then I'll just stop there. And wish you all happy holidays for those who have some. Well, I did make some change. Hopefully they won't break the setup that is here in the test. Like those initial head things. Yeah, that shouldn't hurt. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, that's not going to be sufficient. I'll have to wait for it to finish so I can get the errors. Hopefully that wasn't one of my changes. I should have stashed actually the changes. Yeah, there's going to be a long wait. Yeah, there's a lot of failures. It's probably for the same reason. Like there's maybe there's something that fails on the setup of some tests and it fails like 10 tests even though it's the same. It's the same stuff, quoi. Same cause. So I'm gonna get back to something just real quick, sorry. Okay, lots of failure again. Yeah, well, it depends on when in your development process you are. They are complicating building a new thing. That's for sure. If you're maintaining something and you realize that, for example, your ecosystem has changed or there's a new version of something or there's some refactoring that you have to do to adapt to external changes or to like some maintenance that you've postponed for a long time, then you're very happy to have tests. Like you can hack away on your thing and be rather well, confident that that things are still going to work after you're surgically. Excuse me.
Là, t'étais en train d'ouvrir les trucs des gens.
Oui.
La porte est ouverte.
C'est pas toi.
Pas d'appel.
Yep. Sorry, I'll have to. Yeah, I have to drop for a few minutes. I have to get something at the door. In theory, that should work. No. Yeah, sorry. So hey, I'm back. Sorry, I needed to get something at the door, and these days they are really impatient because they have tons of things to deliver. Those little the assistants of Santa Claus. So it's taking a while. I wonder if I can just run them with a dash E, with dash X, for example. That will make it fail. That would make it fail at the first failure instead of running all of them, because that's a bit annoying. Let me look. Can I do that? So it's running in. It's the Tox Pi 3. Ah, so I can pass test case, and it'll. Okay, let me try that again. So now I have dash test case equal. I suppose that should be sufficient. Let's try. Ah, perfect. So what's the failure? Connecting to Unix socket. Oh. Yeah, okay. I think I know why. This run CI test containers thing is supposed to run a ton of okay, might be supposed to run a ton of things, but I'm not sure it has Redis in there. Yeah. Okay, so it should be running Redis. it is installed by the container. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a bit too complex for the time that I have left, which is none. All right, so attempt to run the unit tests using the containers failed as well. Maybe next time. In the meantime, I think I'm going to stop there. That's supposed to be a shortcut, but it doesn't work if I'm not focused on this, which is a bit useless, but anyway. So yeah, unfortunately the shortcuts are not global. That's a bit too bad. Anyway, that's a different story. So I think I'm going to stop there. Before I get the test to pass, I will probably need some more help anyway. So yep. But it was nice chatting with you all, especially with Neil, who isn't usually around. So that's cool. And Crossbow, thanks for being here and chatting as always. So that's always appreciated. I think that is all. I only have my best wishes for you left. I hope that you'll have a good time at the end of the year. Happy winter solstice, since it's the only thing that works for all of us. I'll see you in the next year. Next week, obviously, no stream. I will be possibly away from a computer, maybe not. At least, maybe not for too long. So probably not next week. Well, surely not next week, because if I'm close to a computer, it's not going to be a computer with a good internet connection. And I'll see you when I'm back. And so what's the next day? The next Friday in the year is going to be the 5th. So see you in the 5th of January 2024. And I wish you the best possible year for 2024. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be great, better than the last year, which was better than the last year and better than the year before. And see you next time. See you in 2024. Have a good time.